thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to help you to identify the top 5 common mistakes that beginner and intermediate surfers make whilst attempting bottom turns. Break down the correct technique for both forehand and backhand to help get you bottom turning like a pro. Your bottom turn is generally the most important maneuver in surfing. Whether the surf is big or small, it sets you up down the line and ensures that you arrive at the section with enough speed and power for your desired turn. Despite what you may be thinking, it's often more important to execute a good bottom turn in smaller waves or when the conditions are mushy. This is because when the conditions are bigger and cleaner, the wave itself will generally produce enough power that you do not need to generate any additional speed throughout your bottom turn. When it's bigger and more powerful, you may even use your bottom turn to wash off some speed. When the waves are small, you rely more on the bottom turn to generate the speed and drive required to effectively set up your top turn, and it also helps to prevent you from bogging rail. Mistake number 1, not starting your bottom turn at the bottom of the wave. There are 3 parts to a turning maneuver: bottom turn, the transition, and the top turn. There are also 3 parts to a wave: the base, the mid-face, and the lip. You need the whole wave to correctly complete a maneuver. So when you start your bottom turn in the middle of the wave, by the time you reach the lip, you're only in the transition stage of your turn, and you will not have enough time or space to finish your top turn. An easy fix to this problem is to start your bottom turn at the bottom of the wave. This will make sure that you have enough space to fit in your top turn. Mistake number 2. Incorrect foot placement. Standing too far forward on your board tends to make you catch your front rail and you'll probably nosedive. Too close together and you'll have no balance and you'll also probably fall off. Too far apart, your board is going to be stiff and hard to turn, and ultimately you'll probably miss the section due to not being able to come off the bottom sharp enough. Mistake number 3. Straight legs. This will cause you to bend from the waist, and that causing your center of gravity to be very far forward. And you're probably going to face plant in the wave. So bend from your knees and your ankles, because the lower and more compressed you are on your bottom turn, the better. Mistake number 4. Leaning too far back. This will cause you to be off balance while stalling your surfboard and slowing you down. You want to keep your weight low and slightly over the front knee to help keep your fin and rail engaged and giving you maximum speed and drive. And this brings us to mistake number 5, having your arms out too wide. The reason that you want to keep your arms low on your bottom turn is because on the forehand, your trailing arm is going to reach down and touch the wave's face, whereas on the backhand, the leading arm is going to reach down and touch the wave's face. It also helps to keep you balanced, compressed, and ensures correct body positioning. The first thing that you want to do when you're at the top of the wave before you drop in is to look down the line to get an idea of what sections are coming and what turns you might want to do. This will help you to determine where you want to start your bottom turn from. This is much the same way that a skater or a snowboarder sets up at the start of a run and makes an assessment of what they want to do before dropping in. Basically, there are 3 variations of the bottom turn to choose from depending on your desired top turn. The first option is for a snap or an off the lip. This requires the most speed and power to generate a tight arc to drive off the bottom, staying close to the wave's power, enabling you to hit the section vertically. Second option is for a slightly more drawn out variation, which is used for a wrap, a carve, or a floater. The third option is the most drawn out version of the bottom turn, where you are trying to arrive at the top section of the wave with enough distance from the whitewater to perform a roundhouse cutback. Compressing off the bottom. When starting your bottom turn, bend low and centered to your board with your weight slightly over your front knee. Important that you bend from your knees and ankles and not from the waist. This will cause you to be off balance, or even worse, make you look like a poo man. The leading arm is low and locked by the side of your body, whereas the trailing arm is also low but slightly out from the body and ready to touch the wave's face. This is called patting the cat.
My cat's name is Mittens.
It ensures correct body position by staying low and centered over your surfboard whilst keeping the fins and rails engaged for maximum speed and drive. For a drawn out bottom turn, the hand is skimmed across the top of the water, whereas for a sharp bottom turn, the hand can be buried into the water to create a tighter turning arc off the bottom. Continue to hold this compressed body position until the nose of your board is on a trajectory directly towards the top of the section. At this stage, you start to decompress slightly in anticipation to start positioning your body for the top turn. Let's take a look at a few more variations of the forehand bottom turn in different conditions. Take note that the steps and body positioning is always the same despite different wave sizes and different conditions. Let's take a look at backhand bottom turns now. The main difference is that your weight and pressure are on your heels rather than your toes, reaching with the leading arm rather than the trailing arm, whilst the arm that is not reaching for the water is further away from the body on the backhand, being used to rotate the upper body and creating balance as you are a lot less stable on your heels than you are on your toes. Here's 5 more backhand bottom turns. Notice the low center of gravity and bent knees being used to engage the fins and the rail, creating speed, power, and control. The eyes are set on the section or the intended direction of travel, whilst the upper body is rotating with the core engaged, leading the hips. The pressure is on the heels instead of the toes. I hope that now you have a better understanding of how to do a good bottom turn. Or maybe you now have that one piece of the puzzle that your bottom turns have been missing. Please leave us a comment below, guys, letting us know anything that you liked or didn't like, or if there's anything more that you think we should cover.